ॐ श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं पादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः उकारस्त्वन्धकारो वै ऋकारस्तन्निवर्तकः अन्धकारनिरोधित्वात् गुरुरित्यभिधीयते ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः ॐ नमो भगवते वैवस्वताय मृत्यवे ब्रह्मविद्याचार्याय नचिकेतसे च the insecurity, which is the hallmark of an existence without self-enquiry, will not disappear. Will not disappear. Many things disappear. You get a sprain on your leg. After a while, it goes away. And you get some kind of a cold, cough, it goes away. And you get certain other undesirable things like a stomach upset, virus also goes away. Not self-ignorance. That does not go away on its own. That does not go away in time. And that does not go away without an active attempt, a proper attempt, or without the right attempt at self-inquiry. It just simply, absolutely will not go away. Not possible at all. Why won't it go away? So many things go away. Even a skin disease goes away after a little struggle. And like I said, sprain or a strain in the muscle goes away. After a while, it heals. Why doesn't self-ignorance go away? Because its antidote, self-knowledge, is not known. That itself takes a long time to somehow come to fall into the understanding that no matter what I am doing is not working. So Vedanta becomes the last stop, seldom the first stop. Even if somebody like is that Ramana Maharshi, who got this knowledge very quickly, they say, even for such a person, it was, you can say, that the work was done in the previous lives. There were many stops in the previous lives, and therefore it appeared that it was the last stop in this life. Such a Mahatma is rare. Pujya Swamiji, Ramana Maharshi, very rare instances. Generally, self-ignorance is sticks to you. does not go away without right inquiry done in the proper manner. No, but other ignorance goes away. Why not self-ignorance? What is so special about self-ignorance? Other ignorance goes away. In fact, the child is born with two kinds of ignorance. It doesn't know it is Satchidananda for sure. That ignorance it suffers from. And it also doesn't know, what else does it not know? It does not know that I am the son of so and so. I am the child of daughter of so and so. I am the sibling of so and so. It does not know. And it does not know what is red, what is blue. It does not know candy. It knows nothing. And in fact, there are, we can say, only two things in the universe: I and then everything else. Everything else is a kind of a not a very convenient nomenclature. What shall we call this everything else? Not I. Ah. Dvau hi padarthau asmin loke. Don't get worried about Sanskrit. In fact, I already said in English, I'm just translating it in Sanskrit, okay? Only two things are there in this universe: Atma, Anatmanau, Atmanatmanau. One we call I, Atma, and the other one we call not I. How do you say not I? You just negate the I. An-atma. An is the negative particle. In Sanskrit, whenever it starts, the word starts with a vowel. So, Atma, Anatma. I, not I. So, the child has two kinds of ignorance. I ignorance is, of course, there. It doesn't know I am Ishvara, I am Bhagavan. And then it also doesn't know who is mummy, who is daddy, what is house, what is candy. Nothing it knows. What is baby? I am a baby. It doesn't know anything. And interestingly, the not I ignorance appears to drop on its own. It goes. You hold out your hands to a 1 month old baby. It will not protest if you hold it. It does not know this is my mother, this is a stranger. It does not know. Stranger, danger. It does not know. It has stranger ignorance. Same thing you go and you try to hold a baby that is 8 months old. Just in the space of 7 months, a big transformation has taken place. Child goes like this. Who are you? I'm not going to come to you. I've never seen you before. You look suspicious. This is my mummy, in whose lap I'm sitting. This is my daddy. And who are you? I don't know you. I'm not going to come to you. What has happened in these 7 months? Mother ignorance has dropped. Father ignorance has dropped. My people, this ignorance has dropped. Stranger ignorance has dropped. Now you are the stranger. And this way, this something which is very interesting. The not I ignorance drops on its own. Just through socialization, just through hearing about things, just through participating in this strange thing that we call life, just through that, it just goes. Not I ignorance goes. Then the child grows up a little more. My toy, my my things, my toy ignorance is gone. My things ignorance is gone. Then the child goes to school. School ignorance is gone. ABC ignorance is gone. And then what else? 1 plus 1, 2 ignorance is gone. And if I want to play with other children's toys, I have to share, I have to give my toys. That ignorance is gone. And the child grows up. Now the child is no longer a child, a young adult in high school. In physics ignorance gone, trigonometry ignorance gone, calculus ignorance gone, and so many things gone, going. Maybe not fully gone, but going. Because physics is a big thing, big topic, but going. Physics ignorance, that there is such a thing called physics, that ignorance is gone. And now this young adult is in college, more ignorance drops, more ignorance drops. Then they get married, then they get a job, more job ignorance gone. Then they get married, marriage ignorance gone. Then they have their own family, their own children ignorance gone, family ignorance gone. Then they get some big accolades and awards, Nobel Prize, ignorance gone. Why not? Think big. When we are thinking of award, don't think of a chota award somewhere, given by some village Maharaja in India. Maharaja in India, nothing these days. Okay, think Nobel Prize, think big. And Nobel Prize ignorance gone. And studies, all the scientists ignorance gone. Einstein ignorance gone, Newton ignorance gone, all the ignorance gone. And then what? Finally grows old, retires, retirement ignorance gone. And then finally what? Ram Naam Satya Hai. Oh, this is what death is like. The person must be thinking after leaving the body. Oh, looks like I'm not going back here. No entry. And they are hurrying this body to the funeral grounds. No more re-entry possible. Okay, let me float around. And preta, ignorance gone. And so like this, the whole not I ignorance keeps dropping from birth to death. Not I means the whole vast jagat of things, people, places, situations, events, whatever. It keeps dropping. It goes on its own. But you can become a big scientist. You can become a path breaking. You can do research. You can become famous. You can write hundreds of books. And each book is famous. But still, one can die away without the I ignorance ever go. One can be a great scientist and then just pass away. Not fair. Not fair. How come there are two kinds of ignorances, of the I and the not I? The not I ignorance drops on its own, and it doesn't even matter if you're a Vedantin, because what you are interested is in the I ignorance going away. But the I ignorance seems to be its own boss somehow. It seems to follow a totally different set of rules. Why? Because even discerning that I am ignorant of myself is a great act of grace. In fact, many kinds of graces have to come together. Kripa, grace. Kripa, prapa. Prapa means fountain. Fountain of grace, a wellspring of grace has to come. Grace has to work over time. What is this thing called grace? That is just what we call purva punya. Punya means the these good kinds of karma, the results of good karma done in this and other lives, fructify in the form of the desire to drop this ignorance. How can you drop it if you don't even know it is there? So therefore, first it fructifies in the form of I don't know myself. Oh no, I don't know myself. And it may not be in such an articulated form. Something is wrong. I don't feel like myself. I am constantly butting my head, heads also, because one is confused, like Ravana. I'm butting all my heads of various aims and goals and agenda against a unyielding stone wall, trying to get rid of this insecurity we talked about last time, trying to get rid of this pain, this sorrow, trying to become something or the other. Nothing works. Absolutely nothing works. And when all avenues are closed and the seeking is sincere, grace operates. Grace operates and puts one in a situation of learning about oneself, so that the I ignorance, faintly discerned through a little flicker of flame called mumuksha, the desire to be free. The desire to be free of this relentless pain of self-judgment, self-loath, self-critique. This desire alone leads one to totally want the transformation, want this change, want the ignorance to drop. In fact, there is no such entity called self-knowledge. It is you. It is simply you. It's not an entity outside of you that you have to go reach. Self-knowledge is not sitting in the library. Oh, but what about the Upanishad? You said it makes you shed and all these things. Yes. But where is the Upanishad? Oh, in the book, of course. No. The Upanishad is in the transmission of the vision of the truth of oneself through a thought form called vritti, akhandakara vritti. It is not the Upanishad of words. Yes, words are employed, but it's not the words itself, but what those words do to your world of pain, sorrow, and misapprehension of yourself. That is what the Upanishad is. Then why do we have books? Because we are forgetful. We are not like the Vedic time Pandits where everything was retained in the head. That's why it's written down. In Kailas ashram, if you go, not just the Upanishad is memorized, but even the Shankara Bhashya of Adi Shankara is also memorized. But we are not belonging to that. We are not in that, we are not that kind of an endangered species anymore. Because such people are endangered species. Everything they know back and forth. Even Pujya Swamiji was like that. He could make out misprints in the Bhashya because he knew exactly what it said. Having taught it so many times, he had committed it to memory. And he himself told one story one time that when he was about 10 years old or 12 years old, he went to a Gita reciting competition. And there was another boy who was equally good. And both Swamiji and his friend rattled off the Bhagavad Gita fast and flawlessly. When the teacher scratched his head, the teacher was confused. Who shall I give the prize to? Both of you are so good. And baby Pujya Swamiji at age 10 held on to the shirt of the teacher, pulled at the shirt of the teacher, and whispered in his ear, I can chant the whole thing backwards too. Okay, 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 you get the prize. You get the prize. This is what, this is how it was in the earlier days. Now we want everything written down. And in Zoom, we want to share everything. We will be doing that, don't worry, when we come to the verses. So we want everything written down, we want everything there, we want everything to be able to, touch, have, hold. There was a reason why it was all retained. Because it is in the form of thoughts. Veda is manomaya. It is manomaya. It is totally held in the form of vritti. It's vrityatmakam. And so therefore it is not a matter of going and opening a book. Self-knowledge is you. What you seek is what you already are. What you want to be is what you already are. No, 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 you must be talking of somebody else. No, I'm talking of you. Can't be me. I seek money. Will Vedanta give me money? Somebody asked me this question. I said, no, Vedanta will not give you money. Oh, then why should I study Vedanta if it's not going to give me money and I want money? Because when you study Vedanta, you will no longer want money. Simple. Simple. It's like that person who was afraid that the sky is falling on my head. Nobody could cure him. The fellow was just miserable all the time, just going like this. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. OMG, OMG, OMG. The sky is falling on my head. Bachao, bachao, save me, help me. Trahimam, pahimam. The sky is falling on my head. Then a renowned doctor, mental doctor, okay, psychiatrist comes to town, as the story goes. And then the relatives of this fellow take him, please do something. He is really very annoying. And no matter how much we explain to him, no, the sky is not falling on your head. He just doesn't understand. Oh, the doctor said, don't worry, just leave him with me and I'll take care of him. Then 1 hour later, the man came out walking on his hands, very, very happy because the sky was somewhere else. He could not see, and the sky was not falling on his head anymore at all. When he looked up, he just saw the ground upon which he was walking with his hands, and so it seems like a very, very easy solution. So too, it is with self-knowledge. You think you want money, but nobody really wants money. What are you going to do with money? There was one duck in the comic duck uh, called Uncle Scrooge, named after that Christmas story personally. And that duck also liked very money, a lot of money, and was very stingy. And he ordered everybody to remove, in one comic I saw, and he ordered everybody to remove the water from the swimming pool and filled it with dollar bills and then wanted to swim in it. But that's an aberration. Nobody does that. Money you want for a feeling of, I'm okay. At least I think I'm okay. If the inflation doesn't go any higher, I think I'm going to be okay. Oh, inflation went higher, interest rate went higher. Okay, okay. I think I'm still going to be okay. So I think I'm going to be okay. What is that? That's nothing to do with money. Money is superimposed as a solution for I am not okay. The insecurity which is centered on the self, one, because of one's own ignorance, is trying to remove it through money. Remove it through having people around oneself, no matter how toxic they are. Oh, no, 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 but I'm afraid to be alone, and so I'm going to live with them. Oh, but they are terrible. They're just bringing out the worst in you. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Let me just be with them. This is again, why do you want people? You don't want the people for the sake of people. You don't want the money for the sake of money. In fact, you don't even love the significant other for the sake of the significant other. Oh, no, why do I love this person? You love the person for the sake of yourself, so that you feel okay. This is what the sage Yagyavalkya told his wife while teaching her Brahma Vidya in the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. Maitreyi, Are Maitreyi, oh dear Maitreyi, Nava Are, Patyuh Kamaya Patif Priyo Bhavati, Atmanastu Kamaya Patif Priyo Bhavati, Nava Are, Jayayai Kamaya, Jaya Priya Bhavati, Atmanastu Kamaya, Jaya Priya Bhavati. Nava Are, he continues. Putrasya Kamaya Putrah Priyo Bhavati, Atmanastu Kamaya Putrah Priyo Bhavati. Not indeed, oh dear Maitreyi, the husband is cherished for the sake of the husband. The husband becomes lovable for the security of the wife. And don't think it's the only way around, only one way around. And the wife, similarly, is dear to the husband not for the sake of herself, but for the sake of his security. He is okay. If she is around, that is the only thing. Similarly, O Maitreyi, the children become dear to one, not for the sake of the children, but for one's own happiness, one's own security, and one's own fulfillment. Then, after going through a whole list, which is about a page and a half long, of all the things that is beloved to one, and demystifying why those things are beloved, Yagyavalkya finally concludes. Atmanastu kamaya sarvam priyam bhavati. Everything becomes cherished, everything becomes dear for the sake of the self. A pleased self is what I want. A contented self is what I want. A non-demanding self is what I want. An appreciative self is what I want. Not a querulous, demanding, non-accommodative self. I don't want that. I reject that. Not a sad or an anxious self. I reject that as well. Why just me? In fact, the whole pharmaceutical industry knows the truth of Vedanta. You are not anxious. Anxiety is an interloper. That's why they hear, please take this anti-anxiety medicine. Please take this medicine for depression. This is what it is. And so, somewhere one knows. The thing is, one makes oneself so busy, very, very busy, so that one is not uh, one is not aware that whatever one seeks, one is already the possessor of that which one seeks. Nowhere to go, nothing to do, nothing to pursue, nothing to outrun, nothing to chase away, nothing to hold, nothing to give up or get rid of. This is the I that I want to see. This is the I that I want to be. So Atma Ajnanam does not, cannot, will not drop, even though one may be a spiritual romantic and want it to drop. It just will not drop. Why? Because it is hard to even discern it is there. And secondly, one has to choose to know. But why? I mean, so many things I don't choose to know. Like somebody gossiping about somebody else, and I'm just passing through the hallway and I pick up this information. I didn't choose to know that. In fact, I really did not even want to know that. How come I come to know that so easily? But my own self, I don't come to know, which I really, really want. Why is that? It's a very, very good question. Why is that I don't come to know of myself by myself? On my own, why don't I just happen upon this knowledge that I'm so eagerly craving? Why not the self-ignorance drop? Because the knowledge of which we speak is not opposed to your self-ignorance. It is a knowledge that is not opposed to your self-ignorance. This takes a little assimilate. In fact, the ignorance is also accommodated along with everything else, because the knowledge that we are talking about is at the ontological level. I am. I know I am. So even when you say I don't know, you don't know what? Because after all, the verb to know is a sakarmaka dhatu. It is a transitive verb. So what is it that you do not know? I do not know myself. So when you say, I have self-ignorance, you know what you're really saying? You're saying, I know that I don't know myself. So it is that I know which is overriding the I don't know. I don't know myself is an aberration which is ensconced, which is accommodated, which is included in this I know, which is limitless. In this vast expanse of all pervasive, limitless, I am, I know, I don't know, is a little stone in a little ripple. That's all. A little stone is cast and is a little ripple. So therefore it won't drop. It won't drop because it is included in the I know, and it doesn't cause any problems, generally speaking. One keeps on going with the ignorance. I mean, it does cause problems, but not that one wants to do anything about. Not that one wants to seriously pursue, because one keeps thinking that it will go away, like a skin disease, like an itch, like some kind of a thing. And then the whole life is spent putting balms and putting salves and putting all kinds of things, when that is not the cause of that sorrow, affliction, pain, etc. So the whole life goes in putting band-aids. That exactly is the problem. That is the problem. The problem is that of wrong seeking. Seeking for the thing in the wrong place. This is what characterizes everybody's quest for self-knowledge. That's why there are so many paths. All these paths. And this path, that path, this path. And what do you get? No, I want to do this. Okay, you do this. What do you get as a result? A big headache, that's all. Self-ignorance doesn't go, because it's just one more balm for something that is not going to get okay with all these band-aid fixes. Self-ignorance has to go after you choose to address it in the correct pursuit, in the correct way, in the proper way. Then who are you to tell me what is the correct way? I have all these choices. This is the problem. We started out talking about choices. And we started to talk about in the first talk, if you remember, we started to talk about choices and how, especially in the contemporary world, choices make one feel very, very comfortable. As long as there are choices, I'm happy. As long as there are choices, I want to be. I want to be free. And I have this ersatz sense of freedom. This is moksha. Moksha is choices. Moksha is the ability to decide what kind of coffee I will have. So many coffees. And in India, even now, with all the choices, it's not as many as it's there in the West. Do you want coffee? Yes. With or without milk? With milk. Sugar? Yes. What kind of sugar? Do you want brown sugar, regular sugar, cube sugar, or any other kind of false sugar, sweeteners? Or do you want palm sugar, date sugar, coconut sugar, and so many other kinds of sugars? Molasses, jaggery. This is a big thing in India nowadays. Coffee with jaggery, supposed to be healthy coffee. Tea with jaggery. This they used to do long back, but now it has made a comeback. And then, okay, milk. Okay, do you want half and half? See, in India, half and half means completely different. Half and half is the milkman's code for half milk and half water, which is what he's selling you. So we don't have half and half. Do you want cream? We don't think we need cream in the coffee. The only kind of cream is that which you put on the face. Okay, that's the only cream we know in India. You want cream, and then no, milk. Okay, do you want full milk? No, coffee with milk. No, full milk. 2% milk, 1% milk. Lactose-free milk. Milk means the milk without milk. Okay, that which is milk without milk. Okay, that's enough. We have milked a lot out of this. And then there is also non-dairy milk, non-dairy creamer made of soya beans, soya bean creamer, coconut milk creamer, so many kinds, almond milk creamer. And of course, there's a big controversy. How can you call coconut and almond as milks? The milk industry is up in arms. It cannot be milk, it's not milk. And so, this is the predicament. And of course, the coffee itself, calf or decaf. Oh, okay, decaf. All right, decaf. Okay, do you want decaf? Should it be French roast decaf, Guatemalan decaf, Indian decaf? Which kind of decaf? By the time you decide, you have developed a few more gray hairs. Choices in the current contemporary capitalist societies extremely oppressive. Not that I'm advocating Marxism, okay? I'm not advocating communism. But still, it's oppressive. I'm just noticing how oppressive it is. And then And then it becomes a very wonderful distraction, because half the day is gone in making choices, and the other half the day in trying to enjoy the choices that I have made. But of course, very, very insignificantly, because I'm not happy with the choices. Whatever I have chosen, I have to live with it. No, 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 I don't like it, so I have to return it and then get something else back. So much so that even when somebody gets a Christmas present the next day after Christmas, you go and stand in a long line and return the gift somebody else gave. This is the whole idea. Why? Because it doesn't suit my taste and I want it out. And so, really, the namaskara done to the choices just keeps on fomenting and growing the raga and dvesha, the strong preferences and prejudices, until it takes over like mold. Sometimes you don't even know mold is there, but then you get allergies. That's how you know it is there. It's not discernible. So too the raga dveshas, they are there. They are damp. They are wanting to be fulfilled. They have proliferated into the sense organs. They color what I see. They color what I hear. I'm completely subjective, and I'm a slave to my preferences and prejudices. And as a result, what? As a result, I'm not a satisfied person. I have given over, I have been hijacked by the raga dveshas, and I am but a little servant to them. This is one's predicament. This is why self ignorance cannot be dropped, because the pursuit of for the fulfillment of raga dveshas is not the same as the pursuit of self knowledge. In fact, those are two different paths, completely divergent paths. But then still, these options keep me distracted and in the world, playing, so to speak, or rather ensnared by the world of the not I. I have not I for breakfast, I have not I for lunch, I have not I for dinner. It's all not I, not I, not I, not I, not I. I revel in the not I, although it's not really possible to revel in the not I. But I revel in the not I's, meaning I'm just marinated in the not I. And then as a result, the I goes out the window. The I is gone, the pursuit of the I takes a back seat, because the revelry in the not I it has been the not I has become the I. That is the problem. The not I can never become the I. In fact, they have nothing in common. I am self-effulgent, self-evident. I am a sentient being. The not I is insentient. How can the two get mixed up for one another? It is not possible at all. I am the one who objectifies the not I, and the not I is an object of my perception, of my uh, anumana, inference. How can the not I become the I? The not I can never become the I, but yet, due to self ignorance, it is obfuscated. The not I frequently not only becomes the I, but then it shoos the I to the corner and occupies the place, displaces the I. How? Think about one's own life. All the things that we take so seriously. OMG, I have to have this. If that is not there, I'm destroyed. If my child is destroyed, I am destroyed. If my house is destroyed, I am destroyed. If my bank account is destroyed, I am destroyed. If my face, anything changes with my face, some more wrinkles come, I am destroyed. Gray hair, please go away. I am destroyed. So look at where all the I The I has proliferated into the not I, and the not I has proliferated into the I. Nobody says, I am my house. But if anything happens to the house, oh no, I'm really attached to this house. I'm very fond of this house. It's crumbling. It's cracking. And same thing. Putre nashte aham nashtah. The child has the exam and the mother is all anxious. And I have to keep reminding the mothers who come to me very anxious. Oh, my child is in the sixth standard. Sixth standard means sixth grade. 12 years old the child is. And the parent is very, very concerned. Oh no, child has a test. Then I always ask the parent, does the child have the test or you have the test? Do you have the exam? No, 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 I don't have the exam. Then was to start breathing. No, but I just feel like I have to I have to also be stressed out. Why do you have to be stressed out? No, I want to have solidarity with the child. You think the child is going to appreciate you being stressed out? Not in the slightest. In fact, if somebody is stressed out, if you get stressed out along with them, that's not comforting. You have to remain cool. You have to lend the person the strength that they cannot find in the moment. You have to lend them your strength, your sanity, and your objectivity. Strength, objectivity, sanity, SOS. You have to lend them that. And then instead, if you also say, I'm going to get stressed out, that's not going to be comforting to them. It's not going to be of any help. It's not going to be of any help at all. You are already in pieces. You need a psychotherapist. And you are of no use to anybody else around you. But still, somehow, despite this fact, we are convinced that this co-stressing is a way of showing love. Nonsense. This is not a way of showing love. This is dysfunctionality personified. Absolute madness personified. And this is the uh, problem here. The I has bled into the not I, like blotting paper absorbed the not I as part and parcel of itself, and therefore it grieves. First cause of grief. And the not I is mistaken for the I, the second cause of grief. Why? Because of my wrong projection. Where did this projection come from? What is the raw material for the projection? The raw material for the projection is Atma Ajnanam, self-ignorance. That is the raw material for the projection. What other raw material do you want? That itself is the raw material for the projection. Your own self-ignorance is the raw material for the projection. But how? Just like our stock example. What is our stock example? Rope, snake. I go outside, I see something lying in the dark with three bends. Eek! Snake! Thankfully, I have the cell phone, it has a flashlight. I look, and then what do I see? Oh, just a rope. On this rope, I have the aropa. That's why it's called aropa. The superimposition, so to speak, the projection of the snake. Why? Because I do not know it is a rope. One cannot project a snake over a known rope. If you know it is rope, and then I try to scare you with it, you won't be scared. You'll say, oh, put that thing down. Come on. I'm not scared. I know it's a rope. You cannot project a snake on a known rope. Neither can you project a snake on a totally unknown rope. If supposing it was pitch dark, not slightly dark as in the example, but pitch dark, can you project a snake? No, you can't see a snake. See a snake. Why? Because you can't see anything. How can you see a snake? So therefore, you can't have a snake over an unknown rope. You can't have a snake over a known rope. What kind of a rope lends itself to the aropa of the snake? A partially known, a half known rope. This is the example. A half known rope lends itself to projection, and here too a half known I lends itself to mingle with and mistake itself for the not I. This is what is called projection, adhyasa. Many kinds of adhyasa are there, and some of them are called arthadhyasa. First, there is a distinction, arthadhyasa and jnanadhyasa. What is arthadhyasa? Arthadhyasa is that because after the projection has been withdrawn, that projection disappears. Like the snake disappears upon cognizing the rope, upon correcting the mistake, the snake disappears. Arthadhyasa. But then there are many other kinds of adhyasa where this is not true. There is no disappearance taking place. Like how? Sunset. Sunset. You look at the sky. It is purple, orange, pink, grey, brown, black, all at the same time. It's gorgeous. And you say, what a lovely sunset. And then you look at the sun setting into the ocean, the Pacific Ocean. Ah, what a lovely sunset. You can admire it and be moved by this view, even though you know full well you have attended all the geography classes and you know full well the sun ain't setting anywhere, it is not sinking into the ocean. It is not. You know that very well. But even though you know that, the apparent visual, the motion of the sun setting into the ocean does not go away. So, adhyasa that is removed by jnanam is called jnanadhyasa. The perception continues, but I am no longer ignorant. So, these two kinds of adhyasas we need to know. So, now what about self-ignorance? Self-ignorance is because I don't know who I am, and therefore I make projections upon the I that is partially known. What do you mean partially known? I know I am. That much I know. But I don't know that I am Satchidananda. I don't know that I am Ishvara. I am one with the whole. I don't know I am Brahman. And therefore, I think I am miserable. I am sorry. I am small. I am an idiot, etc., etc. This is the wrong conclusion. Suppose you go to the teacher and correct this conclusion. Then what happens? You are no longer ignorant of the I, but the body continues. So you continue to live in this finite body. You continue to live in this finite mind. You continue to live in the finite world of senses, etc., etc. Nothing changes. Nothing at all changes. Jnanadhyasa. Same thing. Jnanadhyasa. Nothing has changed and everything has changed because now I am no longer ignorant of myself. I am lightened. Whether I am enlightened or not, I don't know, but one can say I am lightened of the burden of thinking of identifying myself with the body, with the mind, with the senses, with the family members, with all the sorrows, with my bank account, with everything that is finite. The nightmare of the not I becoming the I is broken because one is woken up in the middle of the nightmare by the Guru who says, Uttishtha, Jagrata, arise, awake, come on, get up. In this very Upanishad, these words come. Get up. You are sleeping the sleep of ignorance for lifetime after lifetime after lifetime. Wake up. And you're having a nightmare. Oh my God, people are chasing me. Really? How many? Three. What are their names? Prarabdha, Agami, Sanchita. These are the various kinds of karmas. I am as good as my karma. My karma is going to catch up with me. And my karma is going to make me suffer. Why? Because I told you already the Saturn is always in the wrong place. How many times have I to tell you that? Saturn is always in the wrong place. And then so I have all this karma because the Saturn is not there in the wrong place. And then the Venus is not okay. Guru is not okay. This thing is not okay. That thing is not okay. This thing happens. That thing happens. This, that, etc., etc. The whole litany and list of complaints are there. And these become manifestations of this adhyasa, arthadhyasa. Even if you know, you come to know, you don't drop the body, thank God. Already not many people interested in Vedanta. And then if they were to know, and that they were to hear, that as soon as they see the truth, what happens? They die. And then, and then what? And then that means there are no students. Students will not even flit anywhere. And then also, sadly, there will not be any teachers also. No teachers. Why? Because anybody who really knows has gone from this world. So therefore, it is not arthadhyasa, it is jnanadhyasa. The body continues, the mind continues, but it is not business as usual. I become big enough to sport this small body, this tiny little mind, and senseless senses. I become bigger than my complaints. I become bigger than my wants and my needs. Because bigger means what? I am fulfilled. I am whole. I am free. So this is all jnanadhyasa. I know I am not this, but still the apparent empirical reality of duality continues. The duality has been deemed as though. So the duality as though continues, the as though duality continues, both of which you can say. As though duality continues, duality as though continues. But since it is as though, it does not really put any, does not cramp my style. I can even enjoy it. But if this is not known, then one makes a costly mistake of, what should I say, of mixing the I with the not I and the not I with the I. And here are two more definitions of adhyasa which are important to know. The first kind is called Atmani, in the I, not I projection. Not I projection with regard to the I, the first kind of adhyasa. What is an example of that? I am as good as the body. Is the body I or not I? Huh? What is the body?
Not I.
Not I. Took some time, but the answer came. Thank you. Body is not I. Mind is not I. Senses are not I. But in this not I, I buddhi. in this, not I. I buddhi is there. That's why I want the body to continue. That's why I don't like wrinkles. That's why I don't like grey hairs. That's why I want to look a certain way. That's why I keep all the surgeons in Florida employed. What kind of surgeons? Plastic surgeons, cosmetic surgeons. I keep them employed. This is what it is. And so this is called Atmani Anatma Adhyasa. A not I projection on the I. On the I that is Satchidananda, free of time as we saw earlier, free of space, spatially limitless, temporally limitless. In every other way, object wise, limitless. Every other way, limitless, limitless. I, on this limitless I, is projected a whole lot of limitations pertaining to the not I, the body, mind, sense complex. And so that the limitations centered on the not I are projected, they bleed into the I. Atmani Anatma Adhyasa. And then the second kind of adhyasa within this rubric is anatmani atma adhyasa. What is that now? In the not I buddhi. What is I buddhi? I means it is forever. I means it is limitless. And that's what I do to my relationships, to my jobs, to my significant others. This is what one does. So in India, this is very common. One parent tells another parent very proudly, "My daughter got a job." And what will the other parent say? Is it permanent? This is what they ask. Is it permanent? When will you become permanent? No, 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 I'm still on probation for 1 year. Then I will become permanent. That's one is not interested in the job. One is interested in the permanence. Same thing with marriage. Sixth marriage also, the same vows are repeated with great Shraddha. This time it is for real. This time you are really everything. And I promise to be with you forever. You don't want the sixth marriage or the seventh marriage or the eighth marriage. What do you want? You want the forever. You want the permanence. This is what it is. I want the house. I want to pay off the mortgage so that it can become mine. You don't want really the house. You want that security that you think it spells. This way, everything in the world of not I see with I buddhi, means the world of not I is finite. And in the finite, I look for the infinite. Wrong place. This is what it is. In the finite, I look for the infinite. And the infinite I mistake to be finite. These are the two kinds of adhyasas. The infinite I is mistaken to be the body, to be the mind, to be the senses, to be finite. And the finite world of name and forms is mistaken to be infinite because I want everything to continue infinitely. I want some loved one to live forever. How is that possible? It's not possible. It goes against the universal laws. No, never mind. I still want them to live forever. And then I want the objects also to be there always. My favorite cup, my favorite saucer, my favorite thing. These are a few of my favorite things. There is one song. At least if it was few, it's okay. But even in the song, the woman keeps on singing, 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 and so many favorite things are there at the end. And so, these favorite things means what? I want them to last forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. How is that possible? It is against the logic. It's against universal laws. But still, hope springs eternal. Madness this is. This is why one needs to seek properly. And this is what Nachiketa, this improper seeking, is what brings Nachiketa to the doorstep of Lord Yama. Improper seeking? Nachiketa is a small boy. What do you mean by improper seeking? Because he may be small, but he is very, very, very extremely wise. So wise. And as a small, young 8-year-old boy, he sees his father hanker after heaven. Ushan havai vajashravah sarva vedasam dadhau tasyah nachiketa nama putra asa. Ushan means desiring. In fact, it is very interesting that the Kathopanishad, the road to freedom from the tyranny of choices and desires, begins with the word desiring. Very interesting. Lot of pun and lot of fun. So, desiring is what motivates one to do something. Desiring is what motivates one to go places, to get something, to fulfill that desire, because that desire creates a clamoring pressure. Come on, what about me? Take care of me. The desire doesn't remain quietly somewhere in the recesses of the heart. It makes its presence known and it exerts a vega. Vega means pressure. It exerts a pressure to be fulfilled. And so, therefore, Nachiketa sees his father desiring what? Heaven. Some kind of an afterlife. Why? Because somehow Vajashravas, the father of Nachiketa, somehow comes to know, because he's a devout dharmic person. He comes to know that this life is ephemeral. Here today, gone tomorrow. Sometimes here today, gone today itself. And so there must be something else permanent. And all he can think of is, aha, afterlife. This is what I want afterlife. Okay, so let's look in the books. What do I do to secure a seat in the afterlife? With the currency here, finite currency, you want a seat in the afterlife. What kind of a seat will it be? It will be also a finite seat that will deliver you back into samsara. That's what it is. It's a seat which has a eject button, which you don't know. Chitragupta, the person who monitors karma, will press that eject button and you go floundering back into the world of the mortals. One is born again, literally speaking. And so but still it doesn't stop Vajashravas from thumbing through the pages of the Veda and looking for an appropriate ritual in order to guarantee a seat, a throne in the afterlife. What do you have to do? Veda said, simple. Just give away everything that you have ritualistically. Whatever you possess, you give away. And this is what it means. Sarva Vedhasam Dadhau, gave away all his wealth. And this must have been a wealthy man. Otherwise, if a begging person gave up his bowl, there's nothing to write about. But here, there's a person with a lot of cattle, a lot of land, a lot of people to take paricharakas, sevaks to take care of the land and the cattle. And such a person giving stuff away, it's something to write about. Little Nachiketa sees all the cows being given away. Oh, they're being led here. Oh, here is some gold being given away. Here is this being given away. Here is being that being given away. And this afterlife, this father wants so badly this afterlife. wrong seeking. We have the Upanishad opens with the example of the wrong seeking and distinguishes Nachiketa as the right seeker because he doesn't want anything for himself. He says, Dad, he doesn't say, Dad, Tata, hey, Tata, or Daddy, why don't you take me also with you? Why don't I also get afterlife? No. He only wants to fulfill the wishes of the father. He sees some old cows being dragged around. What kind of cows? The cows that had drunk all the water allotted to them in this lifetime by Bhagavan. What other kinds of cows? The cows that had eaten all the grass in this lifetime allotted to them by Bhagavan, meaning toothless cows, cannot even nibble at the grass. You have to feed them a wheat grass smoothie, those kinds of cows. In a bottle, you have to give it to them. And then what? And then Virindriyaha means the cows that have given birth to all the babies allotted to them in this lifetime by Bhagavan. Barren cows, old cows, tired cows, drop dead cows, dropping dead cows. He saw these cows being led. And then he said, he wants a wonderful afterlife. I am young, I'm strong, I'm intelligent, and besides, I'm cute. So why don't I offer myself? Why not I go somewhere and I just also help him if he sends me? The poor child doesn't know he's not a possession. Sarva Vedasam Dadav, the ritual just calls for possessions to be given. He doesn't know that he is not a possession. Goes and catches hold of the dhoti of the father. Tata, kasmai mam dasyasi, dvihi, trihi, first time, second time, third time. The father says, not now, I'm in the middle of the ritual because each thing, you have to pour the water over the thing and you have to say, Idanna mama, I will not come back tomorrow and get it back from your house. Please take it. I relinquish all claims. You have to say all these mantras. Then you have to give it Priya Deyam, Bhiya Deyam, Shraddhaya Deyam. I have to give with respect, you have to give with modesty. All these things are there. And in the middle, this annoying little boy is keeping on saying, who are you going to give me to? Who are you going to give me to? I'll go to hell, the father says. And the Sanskrit, way of saying go to hell is go to Lord Yama's abode. I give you to Lord Yama. And the child says, okay, here I go. And in those days, you could do various kinds of intra-terrestrial travel, celestial travel. All this was accomplishable. And then the father immediately regrets it. No, I meant it in jest, don't go. Nachiketa is unshaken. He says, not a single person in our whole clan. Anupashya yatha purve pratipashya tatha pare sasyamiva martyah pachyate sasyamiva ajayate punaha. Look at this. Look at the people behind you. Behind you means your ancestors, predecessors. Did anybody say they would do something and never did it? No. And look at your contemporaries. Look around you. They had in your clan, in amongst your friend circle, in amongst your relatives. Is there anybody who says, I will do something and then not do it? No. That's why I have to keep your word. I have to go. And then he goes to Lord Yama unafraid, totally unafraid, and with and knowing clearly what he wants. And what he wants, we'll see in the next class. I think the next class is tomorrow because this evening we have kept free for Mahashivaratri celebration. I wish that happy Mahashivaratri to everybody. May Bhagavan be with you and may the grace of the Lord on this auspicious day be with all of you and your families and loved ones. That is my prayer. So we'll see again in the morning we will see meditation at 7 and 7:30. We will see in the morning class. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadava Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Thank you. We'll have questions in the evening class. Okay.
Pranam Swamini ji.
Pranam Swamini ji. Happy
Om
Shivratri.
Happy Shivratri to you also. Om Namah
Happy
Shivaya.
Shivratri.